r/AskReddit. What profession is almost always looked down upon? Gas station cashier. Seriously, we get paid and treated like hit and expected to bust our asses. I was a gas station cashier for about 3 months before I was able to find better work. I felt like I was in prison, being treated like a prisoner. Like, my bosses didn't talk to me as if I was a representative of the company or contributing to the work that made the store happen. They treated me like I was scum, grossly necessary to the function of the store. I was condescended to and dismissed pretty much every time I had to have an interaction with those people. That sucks. I got really lucky with the gas station I worked at, an independent Petro-Canada, and it was amazing. Not difficult. Everyone got along. The boss was easygoing, and generally the customers were friendly. It was walking distance to my house, and high school too. It was perfect. Fast food worker. Teachers use this insult way too often. Maybe I wanna flip burgers. Mrs. Jensen. Have you ever thought of that? So many people use it in an insult. It's especially funny when unemployed people say they are above fast food jobs. Parking meter maids. Can't forget process servers. Deservedly so most of the time. They're outside my house at 7:59 AM waiting to give me a ticket if I don't move my car every day. If they were legitimately trying to keep people from clogging up the streets, I would understand. But I get the strong impression that their only existence is to make enough money to pay for their job as well as give a boost to city funds. Every Friday you have to move your car off of the street by 8 AM to allow for street sweepers to come through and sweep. If you don't, you get a ticket. Never in all my days have I heard or seen a street sweeper come through on Fridays. Be it in the morning, afternoon, or evening. You want to know when it does? Some random day of the month between the hours of 2-3 AM. I only know this because it's managed to wake me up somehow several times. People who work for a multi-level marketing, network marketing company. Brainwashed losers. Especially those new recruits. Pyramid schemes. A. Looking down on them is more pity, and it's an earned pity. Pyramid schemes? Excuse me. It's a reverse funnel system. Office managers. Administrative assistants. Secretaries. Etc. People talk hit about them as if their job is easy. They're just paper pushers. That's until they go on vacation and split duties among everyone else for the week. Then you learn to miss them very quickly. They may do seemingly simple tasks, but those simple tasks are what actually keep a large part of the company moving most of the time. Not to mention they have found some way to never forget anyone's birthday and plan a celebration in secret every single time. Don't take those people for granted. Male admin here. I get a lot of weird looks on my chosen career. Mostly because, let's face it, it is a field dominated by women. To be honest, I mean, it is easy. Until something catches on fire or your exec is stuck in a country and you need to fast track him the hell out of there, or figuring out how to cram a 10-hour day of meetings into a span of 8 hours. We keep your company's leadership organized so it doesn't turn into a dumpster fire. Interestingly enough, about 100 years ago the administrative and secretarial fields were dominated by men and quite well regulated. It was looked at as a skilled and trusted position ideal for a young man who is going places. Only when women entered the workforce and started predominating in the field did it become looked down upon the way it is now. It's actually not uncommon. Many fields have become less prestigious since employing women, such as teaching and nursing. You can see the same thing happening with biosciences right now. The converse is also true. Computer programming was pioneered by women, but was generally regarded as useless busy work. Only once men began to dominate in the field did it gain prestige. Any field dominated by women is automatically assigned a lesser value than one dominated by men. It is regarded as easier, less vital, and far less prestigious. People hit on plumbers until they need one. I recently worked on renovating a house and I will never hate on tradesmen again. Not that I treated them poorly at all before, but now I have some serious respect for their skills. People need to stop holding college degrees in such esteem and getting into the trades. Seriously. My dad was a contractor. He made good money. took between 14 and 28-day vacations on his boat, provided for a family, built his own house. Prior to being a contractor full-time, he was working on a towboat doing a gravel barge through the locks. A lady and her kid were watching vessels go through the locks, and she told her kid that if he didn't do well in school, he would end up that way. He yelled up, "Don't listen to her. I just bought a new truck, and it's pretty nice." That being said, he made absolutely sure that my brother and I graduated college, so our options would be open. Stripper. Not sure why, but I think being a stripper will always be looked down on. Edit. To clarify, I don't think they should be looked down on, but I don't see society changing the negative view towards them. I just felt my phrasing might imply that I think they should be looked down on. Probably cause they're considered only maybe half a step better off than prostitutes. On a related note, prostitutes go home with a stranger and no one bats an eye. Give that same stranger money after and suddenly both parties are scum. Politicians. You're absolutely correct on this one. Everyone loves watching Frank Underwood, but apparently if you're the kind of politician that has to work and bargain and deal to get things done, you're scum. And the whole "we need someone who's not a politician to be our politician" mindset is absolutely foolish. I want the most experienced, most qualified person for the job. The one that knows the ins, the outs, the language, the loopholes in the system. Just like I want the most qualified doctor, or technician, or lawyer. But I don't see people lining up to go the mechanic who's never worked on that kind of car before. But hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. Blows my mind. I liked House of Cards because it's a show. I'd hang the politician myself that tried to get away with half the hit he did if it was real life. Service industry. Don't worry, sweetie. I used to do this too. You'll get a better job someday. Maybe you should have gone to college instead. I got a law degree. But law degrees don't pay the bills like hustling food and drinks. In this economy. Pick me. I love this one. What are you going to school for? I actually have my degree. Awkward silence. Graduated summer. With a 4.0. Even. Would you like some fries sauce? What's your degree in? Cleaning lady. Hate the term. My mom has a successful business as a cleaning lady and I always refrained from telling my friends or ex-boyfriends because of how they would look at her or treat her after they found out. Edit. Grammar. What's a better term for this than cleaning lady? My father pays someone to clean his house, and I hate calling her the cleaning lady. It just sounds insulting for some reason. Housekeeper maybe? Housekeepers. I hate cleaning, so I have a ton of respect for people who do this for a living. It's hard work. I have mad respect for them. I try to make sure my house is neat before they come over. I never want to be that house they dread coming to. Animal control officers. I can't think of a single movie that has them where they're not the bad guys. They're usually depicted as hating animals and taking away some kid's dog for a bad reason. I think most animal control officers got into that job because they care about animals. Was one of these for a little under 2 years. Have a degree in biology. I wouldn't say I got looked down on a lot, because when you have a family of raccoons living in your attic, why would you look down on the guy willing to get rid of them for you? If anything, it was more of pity, or why on earth would you want to do this job? Definitely not an easy job, but certainly interesting. Manual laborers. Blue collar guys are some of the hardest working people out there. They regularly put themselves in dangerous situations to build the things society depends on to function. Skyscrapers, bridges, mines, and so much more. My father is a blue collar worker. I 100% agree. It's a shame they aren't recognized more for their contributions. Artists of any kind are some of the least respected professions I can think of in this day and age. So much work. Years of blood, sweat and tears building up portfolios, only to be treated like expendable garbage. Then people have the nerve to chalk up your entire skill set as the magical entity known as talent. Also, I can't pay you money, but you will get more exposure. I'm not an artist myself, but I do hear some artists say this happens to them all the time. I'm an amateur musician. And I've heard this exact phrase several times. It's not worth it at all. And this will automatically garner a thanks, but no thanks response. If I perform a service, I expect to be paid. I'm not playing your street fair just because I love to perform. I have bills to pay just like everyone else. Olympic boxing judge. I want them to sit those judges down and make them watch the tape. Then have them explain how he lost the fight. Dancers. My sister's dream is to be a dancer. And she's damned good at it. Since she's trained since a very young age. And she's no fool either. She knows it's going to be a tough career path. She knows that she'll have to find a way to make ends meet. But whenever she gets careers advice, the teachers at school talk down to her like she's stupid, despite the fact she always receives high grades. And is genuinely one of the sharpest people I know. Saying things like, "But what do you want to do as your career?" drives us all insane, as she's thought through this very seriously for a long time. Well, to be fair, I kind of agree that it's a bit stupid to pursue a career path as difficult as dancing without any guarantee of success and without any backup plan. What do you really expect the teachers to say when they are, as you say, giving her career advice? Prostitutes. Why? I'm not quite sure. Nowadays, when a good amount of them are running the show themselves and you no longer need to walk the street and work for a pimp in order to make money, it seems like a much more honest profession, where the women are capable of making quite a bit of money. High-scale prostitutes can make six figures while creating their own schedules and working for themselves. People love to look down on them because what they are selling is X. But there isn't a whole lot of rationale behind why that is any less respectable than anyone else. Let's face it, if you are working 40+ hours per week at a job that you hate, you are prostituting yourself. You aren't any better just because what you sell is your time rather than your body. Really, what we need to do is merge psychiatrists, priests, and prostitutes into a single profession. They all roughly perform the same function anyway, which is being the dumpster of all the misery and guilt of society. Not to make light of your comment, but psychiatrists are actually medical doctors, MD. Their main job is to make sure you get the best treatment. Most formal therapists are actually psychologists, PhD. Most psychiatrists will require you to see a psychologist alongside their medical treatment. Small distinction in names. Yes. But very different in jobs. Nigerian royalty. Okay, so I'm a first-gen Nigerian American and my dad would tell me I was a princess growing up. As most dads lovingly tell their daughters. Even at a young age I was a slave to my ego and took it very literally. I told everyone on the bus I was a Nigerian princess, and I'll never forget the sideways look my bus driver gave me. It took me years to understand why he didn't believe me. Televangelists. They absolutely deserve the hate they get. I'm hoping one day God comes down and smites them. Jesus wouldn't put up with it. $4 million home? Yeah right, God wanted it for you. Duck you. $20,000 conference room table. Duck you. Jesus would flip then burn that hit. Bag boy at grocery store. You may die a bagger, but the bagger corp will live on forever. And therefore you will live on forever. Seriously though, I enjoyed my time at Kroger. It was a good job for high school/college. Ducking, like and subscribe.